All right, guys, so I want to talk to you about how to get into AA school, what is required in terms of courses and what degree you have to have or don't have to have, um, and kind of how to meet those requirements. So the first thing I want to clear up that is very black and white is you must be a pre-medical student to get into AA school. Obviously, you're going into a healthcare field. This is a graduate degree program to become an anesthetist. You have to have a pre-medical background. Now, what does that entail? You must have a bachelor's degree. Just like medical school, just like dental school, just like physical therapy school, PA school, anything. Does the specific type of degree that you have, does the name on your Bachelor's of Science matter? No. You can have a degree in biology, physiology, medical physiology, like me, chemistry, like my friend, like my best friend. You have a lot of different degree options to choose from. However, you must meet these requirements. So from my school, IU, I have their requirements open right now in front of me. And obviously you have to have a bachelor's degree. In terms of GPA, they're saying that an overall GPA of 3.7 or greater is not technically required, but you're not considered a competitive applicant unless you have an overall GPA of 3.7, a science GPA of 3.7, and a prerequisite GPA of 3.7. Now, I've been teaching these AA students for a few years, and I get nearly every student that comes through this program, and most of them have a much higher GPA than that. So just be aware that grades do matter in these courses. You need to be getting A's. This is a very competitive program, it's a very competitive degree field, competitive job. So just be aware of that. If you're going to go to AA school, or your plan as a young undergraduate student is to try to get into AA school, you need to try to excel. Rate My Professor should be your best friend, to be honest. Citizenship. So all applicants must be a permanent resident at the time of application to AA school. Now, standardized tests. You can take either the MCAT or the GRE in some schools within 3 years of matriculating to AA school. Now, there are absolutely no minimums. However, just like the GPA, you kind of need to be competitive. The MCAT minimum was a 504, and the GRE minimum is the 60th percentile in verbal reasoning and 60th percentile in quantitative reasoning. Those scores aren't that crazy, but those are the minimums. So like I said, with the GPA, it's the same thing. You need to be pushing to get a high MCAT score and a high GRE score. Little nugget of knowledge is if you can take the MCAT, it is looked more favorably upon than the GRE.